Okay, so today I'm going to be doing something that I think is fun, which is reviewing a book that I was recommended twice. First one was by my mom, and then the second one was a guy I follow on Instagram had just finished reading it and said that every guy should read it, like it was necessary. So that was like my confirmation to get the book. I'm going to be doing it chapter by chapter. That way I can be comprehensive about it and kind of really see what I learned when I either play the video back and I'm watching it. It's just multiple ways for me to continue to get the message up here. I'm going to be going through the things that stood out to me in order in the first chapter. I made the mistake of not writing it down on pen and paper. I wrote it on my phone. So yeah, I'm going to have to go back and forth. But I haven't even told y'all the name of the book. The book, The Man the Moment Demands. It's by Jason Wilson, who I had seen a couple of Instagram clips of his, but I didn't know who he actually was. So Jason Wilson is a best-selling author and founder of the Cave of Adulam Transformational Training Academy. As an expert in emotional stability training, he has inspired millions through his transformative work with boys and men, culminating in an ESPN Films Award-winning documentary. A devoted husband of more than 26 years and a father of two, Jason embodies the wisdom and integrity necessary for guiding the next generation of men toward comprehensive manhood. So that's his chunk, his excerpt. Let's get into chapter one. All right. So the first thing that stuck out to me when I was reading chapter one was the line, "Confusion exists when you don't know why you exist." Jason in the story shares an excerpt from one of my favorite movies, Wanted, where Wesley is like being beat up by Angelina Jolie. Like he's recruited into this fraternity and has no idea who his parents are. Like he works this like annoying 9 to 5 with coworkers that are assholes to him. And he's kind of just like on the hamster wheel, so to speak, the rat race. And the big question that she posed while like hitting him in the film, if you haven't seen it before, is like why he was there. He ends up saying because he doesn't know who he is. And I like that Jason took that extra. Why am I fucking up on this word today? I like that he took that piece because as soon as I read the line, before he even went into the story, that was my first thought was Wanted, like him not knowing who he was. Because he then leads into the next point of emotional instability is the root of most, hold on, I'm butchering this, is the root of most men's most common struggles, which I know I felt like I had a pretty good handle on who I am. But the more I continue to live life and experience different things and have different situations happen to me where I'm frustrated, which is another topic that really hit home for me that he was talking about in the first chapter, I'm realizing I'm in these positions where I feel anger because I don't. And if I did, then I wouldn't be in the positions in the first place. Like we as humans don't, unless you're self-sabotaging, don't set ourselves up for failure intentionally. Same way we don't want to injure ourselves or harm ourselves intentionally for the most part. It ends up happening on accident. We're not able to foresee what the consequence of our actions will be unless we truly know ourselves and know how we should handle a situation to prevent ourselves from being in bad situations. So those 2 points right off the bat, I'm hooked. I'm like, okay, he's talking to me right now. The next point was a metaphor he used, which was emotions being like crayons in a box. Because men are brought up believing they can't portray certain emotions because they're not masculine or it shows a sign of weakness. Our box is a limited colors. He says like we get like 8 colors. And if we're presented in a situation where another person who is more emotionally sound or does have a good handle of their wide range of emotions, which would be like a 64 box of crayons, then the person with a limited amount of emotions isn't going to know how to handle that situation. And they're going to use their basic one color fits this, and it's not a nuanced emotion. In that he used violet, and then me being like, oh, I only have a purple crayon in my box, which I thought was really cool because emotions are very layered, I would say. So that point was super dope. And then I believe I need to write this down next time. I swear I need to. The next point was earthquakes of emotions. And he has like this chart set up in the book where it shows I could just look at the book. He has a chart set up where it's the hypocenter, where basically in an earthquake, that's where the earthquake starts building pressure. And it said that if the energy is dispersed right then and there, we wouldn't even feel an earthquake. Like if things down there were released, but that's not what ends up happening. It ends up staying trapped. And then the next thing is a seismic wave, which is like the next level. And then from there, we get the actual epicenter, the actual earthquake. Okay, I don't know what I was going with that. But he layers the emotions in there, and he says that the hypocenter of emotion, he uses the examples of fear, loneliness, and insecurity, right, as the hypocenter. And then a step up from that would be like when things start to stir, how you can start visibly seeing it almost is in distrust, lust, anxiety, which is like the next level. So fear goes into distrust, loneliness goes into lust, and then insecurity goes into anxiety. And then the next level after that, when you finally have your earthquake, the big surface emotion, that's what I was trying to hit earlier, surface emotion is anger for most men. Like that's when you just like lose it, and then you start messing up relationships with, your family, with your partner, with jobs, whatever. And I thought that was really cool. I'm sure it's super hard to tap in because there's an activity in the book where it says like write down what each layer is for you. And I felt like those fit mine to a T. But it is definitely an introspective exercise to break down, well, why do I feel like this? Why do I really feel like this? And to take it step by step and work your way down from anger to what is deeply rooted inside of you that makes you feel that way. The next thing, a quote he said on a panel, which was, once you let somebody define you, you can never truly be all you can be. That's hard. I mean, there's no reason for me to dissect that or say what it means. There's such a fire line that I just wanted to pocket that. Also, something that he mentioned that I've totally skipped over because I don't have my notes, they're on my phone, is the hoodie, the symbolism of the hoodie. He says that men put on a hoodie and they put the top on as like a portable cave, something where they can escape from the world and truly hide who they are. Or not truly hide, but hide who they are. And I found myself putting on hoods because I'm thinking like I'm cool or mysterious, but it also is something where you do kind of put on a hood so people can't see like what you got going on, whether it's like you don't want to be noticed or you are looking a certain type of way emotionally. Like if you're sad and you put your hood on and tighten up the strings. If you're high, no, I'm kidding. But yeah, if you're in a spot where you don't want to be seen, you don't want to be noticed, you will put on your hood, which I thought was very interesting and makes me think, do I wear a hoodie sometimes because I don't want to be seen or because I want to be cool? Which one? I think I'm gonna start thinking about that more, putting on a hoodie. Now that concludes what I had noticed in chapter 1 that I kind of wanted to touch point on. But something that I think is cool about this book, and I don't know if it's just in the first chapter, I'm sure he'll do it throughout the rest, and I hope so, was that they give you homework. And it's nothing like a good homework assignment that really does what this is doing, allowing you to further process the information and truly understand it. And the activity was, 1, fill out the earthquake of emotions, which I did. 2, get a mirror, which a pocket mirror to carry with you, which haven't done. 1, it's useful, but 2, it's to give yourself self affirmations, which I don't really do too much of. And I think it's going to be an interesting experiment. So I'm getting a pocket mirror. And finally, it was reduce the risk. So once we did our earthquake emotions, finding ways and resources around us to kind of contain those emotions that we're going through, not the person personally, but just whatever resource we have, utilizing that to help contain us from, or have that surface emotion that we have that ultimately makes us feel guilt or makes us feel like we can't be all that we can be. And that's my take on chapter 1. I can't wait to share chapter 2. I'm excited to go through this book with y'all and like practice everything and kind of do what I did today, which is regurgitate the information so I have a better understanding. And hopefully you're learning something too from it. Don't just watch the video and think that you've read the book. I would definitely still read the book. This is just the things that stood out to me in the first chapter and the things that I want to practice or take note of and be able to share with people that come across me as I practice it. If they don't see it here, then in person. So yeah. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and we're going to go on this journey together. Jay, out.